He was the Queen's favorite son. Everyone said so. While Charles was dutiful and William was the future, Andrew was the one Elizabeth truly adored. He served in the Falklands War. He carried himself like someone who knew he was special. And for decades, he was. But then came Jeffrey Epstein, and the photographs and the lawsuits and Virginia Giuffre's voice, which refused to go quiet even after her death. This morning, 6 unmarked police cars arrived at a royal estate in England. Nobody warned the king in advance. Officers took his brother into custody before mid-morning. The charge carries a maximum sentence of life in prison. Let's start with exactly what happened this morning, because the details matter and they are stunning. At around 8 o'clock in the morning in England, 6 unmarked police cars pulled up outside Wood Farm, a property on the Sandringham estate in Norfolk. Sandringham is land owned by King Charles. Andrew had only moved there recently, after being forced out of his longtime home at Windsor. Plainclothes officers, not officers in uniform, entered the property. These were not officers coming for a chat. They came with a purpose. By mid-morning, Thames Valley Police put out an official statement. It said, a man in his 60s from Norfolk had been arrested on suspicion of misconduct in public office, and searches were being carried out at 2 addresses, one in Norfolk and one in Berkshire. The Berkshire address is Royal Lodge, the large Windsor estate home where Andrew had lived for more than 20 years before he was pushed out. Police were searching both places at the same time. The man they will not name by policy, because British rules do not allow naming suspects at the point of arrest, is Andrew Mountbatten Windsor, formerly known as Prince Andrew, the 66-year-old brother of King Charles III. And today is his birthday. That detail is not a side note. It is the kind of thing that makes you put your coffee down. Now here is what a UK arrest actually does, because this charge is being misread almost everywhere online. In British law, misconduct in public office is a serious crime. It applies when a public official on purpose fails to do their job, or on purpose acts in a way that breaks the trust the public has placed in them. The key word is on purpose. This is not about accidents or mix-ups. This is about choices someone made on purpose. And the harshest sentence for this charge is life in prison. Not years, life. The specific claim driving this arrest is that Andrew, while serving as the United Kingdom's official trade rep for international business, shared secret government papers with Jeffrey Epstein. That role carried real weight. From 2001 to 2011, Andrew held an official government job. He stood in for the British government overseas. He sat in meetings with world leaders, with foreign business people, with top officials in countries including Singapore, Hong Kong, and Vietnam. The reports he wrote from those meetings were not his personal notes. They were government papers written in his role as a public servant, filled with details about business deals and private talks with foreign leaders. According to emails that came out in the January 2026 Epstein files, Andrew appears to have sent at least one of those reports straight to Jeffrey Epstein. Think about what that means for a moment. A man working as the UK's official trade rep, holding secret government papers gathered on official trips abroad, allegedly sent those papers to a man who was, by that point, a convicted sex offender. Epstein had already been found guilty in Florida in 2008. Andrew knew this. The friendship went on anyway. And according to these papers, the sending of official government information went on right alongside it. Thames Valley Police began looking into this claim earlier this month after the group Republic, which campaigns against the monarchy, formally asked for a criminal investigation. Republic had been going through the Epstein files closely since the Department of Justice put out over 1 million documents in late January under the Epstein Files Transparency Act. Their leader, Graham Smith, said this morning that the arrest was likely pushed along by their effort to bring a private case. Make of that what you will. But the timing stands out. The police said they were looking into the claim. Within days, not weeks, there were 6 unmarked cars on the driveway. Now here is what a UK arrest actually does, because this charge is being misread almost everywhere online. An arrest in Britain lets police formally hold and question a suspect, search their homes, and collect and protect evidence. Andrew was arrested and he is being held, but no charges have been filed yet. That comes after the investigation. Charging someone with misconduct in public office requires lawyers to build a case that reaches the bar needed to take it to court, and that takes time. So what we are watching today is not a guilty verdict. It is the start of a formal legal process. But make no mistake, this is serious. Police do not send 6 cars to a royal estate and arrest the king's brother on a guess. The royal family moved swiftly and carefully. Reports say the king got no warning that the arrest was coming. Buckingham Palace has not said whether that is true or not, but several news outlets are reporting it this morning, and it matters if true. It would mean police made a planned decision to keep the palace out of the loop, which is standard when you are arresting someone connected to the very place you are trying to protect the case from. You do not tip off a suspect's family before an arrest. When the news broke, Charles put out a written statement from Buckingham Palace. He wrote that he had learned of the arrest with the deepest concern, and then came the line that everyone is quoting. "Let me state clearly, the law must take its course." He promised the royal family's full support for the investigation and said he would not be commenting further while it was active. Then he added that his family would keep on with their duty and service. That last sentence is doing a lot of work. It is the palace drawing a very clear line between Andrew and the working royal family. He is not their problem anymore. The office of William and Kate confirmed that the Prince and Princess of Wales fully support the King's statement. Queen Camilla was photographed at a public event in London this morning, clearly going about her day. The message from the palace is clear: the royal family carries on. Andrew is on his own. Britain's Prime Minister Keir Starmer kept it short when asked about the arrest. Nobody is above the law. He also said he would not block a debate in Parliament about Andrew's ties to Epstein if lawmakers wanted one. Keir Starmer is the sitting Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. That line means the door is open. And across the ocean, this case is pulling in serious attention from American politicians. Earlier this month, U.S. Vice President J.D. Vance told reporters he would be open to Andrew testifying before Congress as part of ongoing investigations into the Epstein network. The interest in Congress over who Epstein was connected to and what those connections meant has not gone away. The DOJ files are still being gone through. This arrest now puts Andrew on the radar of American lawmakers as well as British police. British police made the arrest. American lawmakers are already watching. This crossed into international territory the moment those emails surfaced. The legal details and royal reactions have taken over the news today. But one statement this morning cut through all of it. Virginia Giuffre spent years saying she had been trafficked by Epstein to Andrew when she was 17 years old. She filed a civil lawsuit. She told her story in interviews, in court papers, in public statements that came at great personal cost. In 2022, Andrew settled that lawsuit for what British news outlets reported as around $16 million without ever admitting he did anything wrong. Virginia said she hoped to finally move on with her life. She deserved that peace. Virginia Giuffre died in April 2025. She was 41. Authorities ruled the death a suicide. In October 2025, her memoir, written before her death, was published. Her voice was gone, but her words were still out there. And the records she had fought to bring out over years of legal battles had helped put those emails into public view. This morning, Virginia's siblings put out a statement. It read, "At last, today, our broken hearts have been lifted at the news that no one is above the law, not even royalty. On behalf of our sister, Virginia Roberts Giuffre, we extend our gratitude to the Thames Valley Police for their investigation and the arrest of Andrew Mountbatten Windsor. He was never a prince. For survivors everywhere, Virginia did this for you. She did this for you. She had already died. She had already settled. And she had given her story more times than anyone should ever have to. The work she did while she was alive is part of what put those police cars outside that estate this morning. That is worth sitting with. So where does this go from here? Andrew is currently being held by police. Cases under misconduct in public office can take a long time. Police will be going through the papers taken from both properties this morning and putting together a full picture of the evidence before lawyers decide whether to file formal charges. Andrew's legal team has not yet said anything publicly. The palace will not comment further. The courts will move at their own pace. What we know for sure is that this is not a case that is going to go away. The DOJ Epstein files hold 1 million documents. Reporters, lawyers, and analysts in both the UK and the United States are still working through them. There are names in those files that have not come out publicly yet. There are emails and messages that have not been fully looked at yet. Andrew's arrest today is the biggest moment in this story since Ghislaine Maxwell was found guilty in 2021, but it is almost certainly not the last. For years, people who watched the royal family argued that the palace would always find a way to protect its own, that the weight of history and money and powerful friends would form a wall around anyone inside it, no matter what they had done. A statement released here, a title stripped there, a settlement quietly paid with no admission of guilt, handling the image, never quite reaching real accountability. This morning, 6 unmarked cars drove up to that wall, and somebody opened the gate. If you want to go deeper on what the DOJ Epstein files revealed and which other powerful names are still being looked at, that video is on screen right now. Subscribe so you are here when the next chapter drops. Because this story is moving fast, and we are going to cover every update as it comes.